This project clearly has so much intensity and heart behind it. What spoke to each of you about being a part of this story?
I think all of us are attracted to projects with intensity and heart, you know, and you want to tell stories that matter. You want to tell stories with artists that are like-minded and are willing to take risks.
And James, your roles often explore people under extreme pressure. What drew you to this one, and what did you find most interesting to explore emotionally?
This is a special story for John Swab. John Swab has lived a life, a real life, and he's been working on this for a long time. And him and I were going to do a different film. We lost the money for that film, and what a blessing because that opens up this time period. And he said, "Hey man, do you want to come to Tulsa and make a movie for no money? And here's a script." And it's a powerful story that means something to him, and that means something to me.
Was there anything about this project that challenged you in a new way as an actor?
Yeah, you listen. You're always fighting for that. What is the new challenge? What is the new question? What is this thing that scares me? What do I not know? What you know? As Ben likes to talk about, like, what are the questions here? You know what? It's your job to find that those things that you want to explore and explore them every day. You know, there's a lot there. There's things that I'm going to keep personal and but I'm down for the journey.
Hmm. And Michael, you always bring such depth and empathy to your characters, even in darker worlds. What was important for you to bring out in this role?
Thank you. I always look for love, in anything I do. If I walk into a party, and everyone said, "Don't talk to that girl," or "Don't talk to that guy," that's immediately the person I want to speak to. I don't believe in bad guys. I don't believe in villains. I don't like it when everyone is polarizing against somebody else. I think that's just not the way to create conversation. So I always like characters that are on the outskirts of the margins. I find them interesting. I think that's the way to create conversation. And if one day I am in the margins, I would love someone from outside the margins to come and challenge me. I think that's how you grow. So I think I was really interested in that. This guy was a guy who was ex-military and who had decided to remove himself from this war because he thought both sides were corrupted and he was just going to be like a modern day pirate and profit from the situation, just like all his superiors are doing. And what I love about John Swab's writing and directing is that he creates just enough opportunity for an actor to bring in humanity. And at the end of the film, you have the opportunity to crack open that humanity. And this particular character does something very brave where he takes responsibility without pointing the fingers. He realizes that he doesn't want his daughter to grow up in this world. He still is aware that both sides are corrupt, but he chooses he was going to take responsibility and pay the price for his own actions, and that was a step forward. But again, it's a complex situation, and I think conversation, healthy conversation, is the way to go.
Well said. And stories like this touch on a really heavy emotions. How do you personally reset or unwind after those long days on set?
That's a great question. I was just on set, and there was this young actress that showed up. She was the niece of the director, and she wanted to be she wants to be an actor. And the director asked me, he asked me that question, and it really moved me because I realized that was I always worked on getting into character, but I never put in as much effort in getting out of character. So that's
Mm.
a great question, and I think all artists out there, no matter what you're doing, and even doctors and garbage men and plumber, anybody, I think we need a way to get into what we do, and then we need to also take in the time to reset and get out in any profession, to put more emphasis on the recentering and recovery, whatever that works for you, But I think that's a great question that I'm still trying to answer.
Yeah, no, it's definitely relatable for all people.
Yeah, I think it's very important. Self-care, mental health, Ben and James mentioned earlier, George Carroll has this great sort of rehab center for people. I think always look for help. You know, help is always available to you. People care, and know that you're not alone. We are a human community, and there are a lot of good people out there. And reach out, reach out to people you love, and there are centers and people there to help in any field.
Agreed. That was beautifully said.
Thank you, Gabriel. Let's hear Ben now speak a little.
Yes, yes. Ben, your work always feels so grounded and real. What kind of atmosphere did you and the cast build on set to make this story feel so authentic?
It's in tribute to John Swab, our writer director, who sets a tone. It starts at the top. He casts a great cast right here, but along with Melissa Leo, Graham Greene, bless his soul, Richie Coster, George Carroll, and also a lot of non-actors, and shooting in active prison. And John himself has lived a real life, and he's coming from a place of empathy, not a chest pounding, saying, "I've seen, I've done, I know." It's saying, "I've seen, I've done, I know. What do you think?" And that inclusivity of asking questions with people who are eager to ask questions, because we've all been touched by addiction. We've all been touched by loss. And it's not going to change. But what can change is how, to quote Mando, is a healthy conversation. And that is the seed of healing.
And Ben, when you take on a character like this, where do you start with the mindset, the physicality, or something else?
Each job's a new question, and there's always a different door. Sometimes it's the way you walk. Usually it's the words and the questions of saying, "I don't know." And hopefully you're fortunate enough to work with someone like John Swab, who says, maybe think about this. And it gives you an ownership of questioning. And then you get into the nitty gritty. And John Swab certainly offered us a lot of opportunity to do that in Tulsa, which is a rich city in many ways.